and it probably doesn't link to anything. Generally, styling links, there's like a lot of different ways to do it. The classic convention of just like an underline in blue, it's okay to mess with that. People expect that it'll be set apart in some way. Some people I've seen do links as small caps. It's a variant of type where your uppercase looks like uppercase and your lowercase looks like small uppercases. And this is like a really classy thing to do in type. It often looks bad because small caps, never mind. But there's a lot of different ways to style links. There's a lot of considerations you have to give to usability. For example, if you're just making your links change color when you hover over them, then you'd better pay attention to what kind of colors work for people that are colorblind. Otherwise, they don't know that it's a link. So there are considerations in styling links, but there's as many different ways to do it as you want. I don't know, I guess. Does that answer your question? And what was the second question? I'm sorry, I forgot already.
Maybe a word about the tension between usability,
usability and pretty. Yes, there's a tension. Good designers do both. Jakob Nielsen is, very insightful about issues of usability. I don't particularly like his design. People can disagree. It's okay. I think that good design, I'm of the school of thought that good design, form follows function. Good design makes your site more usable by making it easier to understand what's there and take action, or understand what's there and find the part that I need and ingest it. So I think the work of a designer is overcoming that tension. It's easy to just make something like ugly, bold, and large, and big blocks on a page and be done with it. It'll be very usable. It won't be very pretty. The work of a designer is going from there to something that looks both aesthetic and doesn't impede usability. And then at the far end of the scale, you've got these flash sites that just do a bazillion things, and they're really pretty, but they're not usable at all. So yeah, there's a tension, and that's what designers are paid to do, to figure out, to solve, I think.
Thank you.
Hi, this is just a short comment on the grid framework. They are really cool, but if you use them by themselves, you tend to gunk up your HTML with all those push, pull, span type of classes. So there are some of those types, but I like one is called Compass. It's like a CSS precompiler, and it gives you a whole lot of other cool stuff like nested selectors and stuff like that. But you can basically use your semantic class names and still have the advantages of those grid frameworks. So I really recommend it.
Okay, Compass is cool. There's a lot of stuff happening in CSS now. In precompilers, there's Sass and Compass, and I don't remember. Sorry? As opposed to post-compilers. Yeah, I guess they're just compilers. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening in CSS because CSS has a bunch of deficiencies. There's no variables in CSS, which sucks because if you want to say, I want this color to be the accent color throughout the website, you've actually got to, paste that bit everywhere, and if you want to change it, it's a grep. So that's not so awesome, and you can't do nesting, and there's a lot of deficiencies in how CSS works. So a bunch of projects like Compass and whatever have sprung up to deal with that, and along the way they've also added the ability to do all these things without damaging your stuff semantically. The problem is I just, it's another, I already have enough stuff in my tool chain. The last thing I need is another thing there that I do while deploying. And I can automate it and stuff, but I haven't so far. I don't mind the semantic damage so much. It's not so bad. But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out, and I think it's getting better, and I think eventually people will use it more and more. Of the two grid frameworks, by the way, that I pointed out, 960 is purely about the grid. There's nothing else there. I think it comes with a reset style sheet just for convenience. Blueprint, the other one, it's the grid framework, but it does a lot more. It has a reset, and then it has a basic style, a style sheet that goes back and adds clean typographically, basic and sufficient styles to most of HTML semantic elements. Yeah, so use those. That's it. Thank you.